Hi everybody and happy Thursday. It's Thursday and we're talking about stuff. As you know, most Thursdays, I can't say every Thursday because I've been a bit of a slacker, I take on a different style topic, and today I'm talking about body types. This is my wheelhouse. I have a business called Apple and Pear Wardrobe Design, so you want to listen to this because this is good stuff. If you are new here, I am Jennifer Mackey Mary, owner of Apple and Pear Wardrobe. My mission is to help make styles simple for women at every stage. I want to make getting dressed fun again. I want to make that moment in your day where you open your closet and you go, ugh, I want to turn it into, all right, I can do this. I'm going to get out of the house, I'm going to get dressed, and I'm going to feel good about myself and move on with my day. So part of what I do in helping women make styles simple is teach women how to dress their body types. And that's what we're going to talk about. I talked about it a little bit on my Facebook page, had a little poll yesterday. Do you know your body type? Some people do. Some people absolutely do. Some people kind of do. Some people do not at all. So there you go. So I'm going to try and kind of clear it up a little bit today. I'm actually breaking this video into two parts, so it's not this long marathon class that you have to sit through, but I am going to break it up into two parts. And the first one is just kind of the body type basics, the nuts and bolts of what body types are and aren't, a quick overview of the core four, the big four that I like to use. And then later today or tomorrow, I'm going to be talking about good applications for knowing your body type and bad applications for knowing your body type, because believe it or not, there are bad applications for knowing your body type. Okay, so before we get started, I know a lot of people know me from Capsule Wardrobe Guides, and the summer capsule is just about to be released. It is so very, very close to being done. However, right now I do have the pre-sale going on. Today's the last day of the pre-sale, and if you sign up for the community version today, you get a swimsuit guide for your body type. Yes, showing the 4 bodies, how to buy swimsuits. Jeans and swimsuits. If I could just solve jeans and swimsuits for people, I think I could die a happy woman, because I feel like I would have made a good mark on the world. So if you want that, I'm going to post the link to the Everyday Style group up there after I'm done. And you can go to there's a whole post in there that tells you what you get. Basically, it's $47, and not only do you get the ebook that shows you 32 pieces and how to turn them into over 100 outfits, it gives you shopping links for every piece, 4 shopping links per piece, and you have access to the community group where I update links all season long. I do Q&A videos. You can have your style questions answered every single week. You get monthly wardrobe challenges. We're in the middle of one right now. You get monthly guest experts. We just had an interior designer in talking about home trends. So it's a really, really, really amazing thing. And it's $47. And right now you get the swimsuit capsule as well. So that ends today on Thursday, May 20. I don't know, is it 23rd, 24th? 20, I have no idea. It's not May 23rd, I don't think. Someone type the date. If you're watching this, tell me what day it is. Okay, so let's get into it. 4 body types. Can you see above me? I actually have a framed picture of 4 body types on my wall, because that's what people who specialize in body types do, right? So there are 4. There are actually way more than 4. How many women are in this world? A few billion. There are a few billion body types, but in order to narrow it down, I use 4, and let me explain why. So I know that there are really probably 6 common ones, but a couple of them are just variations of another. It's the 24th. Thank you, Jen. Okay, so this book is The Wow Factor by Jackie Stafford. I like this one. It's got a few good tips in it, but it has, I think, 5 body types, 5 or 6, and it's pretty helpful, right? So this is a good one. This one has 5 or 6, except one of them is basically just you're overweight, right? So you have your pears, you have your apples, you have your hourglass, you have your rectangles, and then everybody apparently turns into the same size when you gain a little weight. That's not how it works, friends. Okay, and then, oops, lost my mouse. I have this one. And if you know me, if you've followed me for any length of time, you know that I love Trini and Susanna from Britain's What Not to Wear. It's the original version. Love, love, love. But this book, hate, hate, hate. Because it has 12. It has 12 different body types. So you can be a column, a lollipop, a cornet, which kind of looks like an ice cream cone to me, a goblet, a brick, an apple, a vase, a cello, a skittle. Oh, good Lord. So I can open this book and with these 5 or 6, kind of know what my body is. I can open this book. I have no idea. The more body types we do, the less it really applies to everybody, right? I actually had one book that had 16 and I threw it away because it was not helpful at all. Like, it would apply to nobody. So that's why I choose to focus on 4. There are really 4, and most women are a dominant type with characteristics of another. And here are the 4 that I use. I use apple, pear, hourglass, rectangle. Those are the 4 that I use. In other terms, I use bigger on the top than on the bottom. That would be an apple. I use bigger on the bottom than on the top. That would be a pear. I use same on top and bottom without a defined waist. That's a rectangle. Same on top and bottom with a defined waist. That would be an hourglass. Now, everybody has different variations of that. Some people have broader shoulders. Some people have more of a curve. Some people have a higher waist. Some people carry things differently. You could have a body type. I mean, we could have a book with 3 billion body types in it because everybody is just a little bit different. So I just choose to focus on teaching people the 4 and the basic tenets of dressing each one, and then we go from there. Okay, so that's why I only use 4. Okay, I want to talk in this part about what body types are and what they're not. And here's what I want to start with. Body types are not one measurement. So every event I've done, every time I talk to women and I ask, what's your body type? Somebody will tell me an apple because they don't like their waist. That's great, but you need to have other things other than just a waist you don't like to be an apple, right? So if we look at the body type of an apple, which is bigger on the top than bigger on the bottom, and you're an apple who has a bigger butt than you do tummy, that's not an apple, right? So you can't just take one measurement. When I do this as a talk, I always say to people, imagine a woman with a 30-inch waist, right? 30-inch waist, that's what we're working with. Every single person is imagining a different shape, right? I would know if I had a woman who had a 30-inch waist, I'd probably start pulling her about size 8 in clothes. That's all I know about her at this point. Now, if I told you that woman with a 30-inch waist had 40-inch hips, okay, we're getting a clearer picture, right? What does this woman look like? She's obviously smaller in the waist than she is on the bottom. That's helping. If I tell you that she's got 30-inch waist and 32-inch hips, we know that she's pretty straight up and down. But what we don't know is what's happening up top. So we need all 3 measurements to really give us a whole body type. Now, I think 99.9% of stylists, internet information, whatever, is going to tell you that it's about bust, waist, hips. I'm going to tell you it's not about bust, waist, hips. It's about shoulders and bust, waist, and hips. Why? Your bust... Dad, I apologize if you're watching this, by the way. I'm so sorry, because I'm going to talk about tatas for a minute. But your bust is a changing measurement. If you have ever had kids, breastfed, got a good bra, got a good doctor, you know that this is not a static measurement, right? This is ever changing. However, your shoulder line, no matter how much weight you gain, how much weight you lose, if you have implants, if you have a reduction, whatever bra you have, your shoulders always look the same. So we think in terms of like visual value. When you look at somebody, you don't just see boobs, you see the whole upper body. So I look at chest and bust or shoulders and bust together. So if your shoulders and bust are smaller than your hips, you are a pear. If your shoulders and bust are outside your hips, you are an apple. If they are equal to your hips with a waist, you're an hourglass. Equal to your hips, no waist, rectangle. See how easy that is? But look at this whole area rather than just there. All right, Dad, you can turn it back on now. Okay, so they are not one measurement. We need to know everything. They are unchanging. I know a lot of people beg to differ on this. And I saw this article not long after I started Apple and Pear, and it was about like change your body type. And I clicked on it, and it was a trainer, and it had this woman. She was kind of like a lumpy rectangle, right? Like she was a little heavy, and her body was just straight. And then the after picture, the amazing transformation is that she was super lean and muscular and totally straight up and down. That is a different body. It is not a different body type. Also, the whole Barbie, we have different body types thing. No, you don't. You have different body sizes. Everybody still has a big bust, a tiny waist, a big hips. That is not a different body type. So even if you are curvy at a size 0, you're going to be curvy at a size 10 and curvy at a size 20, right? It's going to look different, absolutely. And as we age, we do get thicker around the middle. Those curves do start to kind of straighten out a little bit, but you have to look at the proportion. If your waist is still smaller than your hips, even though it's not as small as it used to be, it's still smaller in proportion. So your body type, unless there's a major kind of transformation, is kind of unchanging. Now, there are some body types that kind of morph into each other, and that comes from having that secondary body type, right? So if you are an apple, sometimes you kind of go to a rectangle. Rectangles, when they gain a little weight, can go apple-y. Pears and hourglasses kind of go back and forth a little bit. But really, wherever you are, just get comfy there, because that's what you're going to be. It doesn't mean you have to be comfortable with your size. It doesn't mean you have to be that forever, but you're going to have that body type forever. The first year I did the speaking, I was on the MOP circuit in Northern Virginia. I did a talk about body types, and afterwards, this girl came up to me and she said, "I've lost 60 pounds and I'm still a pear. I'm still an apple. I'm working out with a trainer every single day." She was working out 5 days a week with a trainer, and she said, "I can't get a waist. What do I do?" And I was like, stop going to the gym, number one. And I said, "You're never going to have a waist. Never, ever." And people think I was really mean to say that to her, but I wasn't. I think it's really mean of somebody to take your time and money and promise you something that is never going to happen. An apple, by definition, has a body that kind of goes like this, from shoulders down to hips, and they carry a little bit more right around that midsection. Unless you have some exercises that can expand your hip bones considerably, don't even bother. I mean, obviously for health reasons and to look your best, blah, 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 blah. But you're not going to change your body type. You're just simply not. So that's it. Your body type is kind of your body type. You will find it changes a little bit. The shape of it changes. The proportions may change a little bit. But if you're a rectangle, don't plan on being an hourglass anytime soon. Okay. I can't read my own handwriting. That's really a problem. Okay, I love this one. They are not a result of good or bad habits. They are not a result of good or bad habits. You cannot diet your way into an hourglass, and you cannot exercise your way out of a pear. It is nothing you did. You are not cursed by the fashion gods because you're an apple. It is just your bone structure and where fat accumulates on your body. It is largely genetic. It's not your fault. And if you have an amazing shape, you didn't do that either. So there you go. Okay. They are not inherently good or bad. I love this one too, because everybody thinks that an hourglass is the ideal body type. I have to tell you that it is one of the hardest body types to dress. Clothes are not made for hourglasses. Rectangles, you're super easy to dress. Rectangles all day long. But they're not inherently good or bad. It's funny, I was doing this as a speech one night at a church group, and after I talk about the body types, people still have no idea what they are. So I invite every woman to line up and let's check your body type. And it's funny because by about the third or fourth woman, everyone else in line has it down and they can tell you what you are. But it's really hard to see in ourselves, and I get that. But anyway, I had just finished saying that body types are not inherently good or bad. They just are. There is no better body type. It just is. And the first woman I came up and I told her she was a rectangle or whatever, and she walked away. And the second one, and so forth. About the third woman came up, and I said, "You're an hourglass." The rest of the line cheered. They were like, "Yay, good job!" Like she had just won the lottery, or she had just, I don't know, climbed a mountain. There's nothing good or bad. So, let's not cheer unless we're going to cheer for everybody. There is no better body type. I had one day, I had back-to-back clients, and my first one was a size 0, and my second one was a size 12. And people would think, oh, that's obviously the 0 is much easier to dress. Well, she was a very curvy, pear-shaped 0, which can happen. And my 12 was a little bit of a curve, kind of that hour tangle shape, which is the most common. And she was so easy to dress. So it's just, you got to sort of figure out what you are and recognize it just is, and then dress it accordingly. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, finally. They are different from person to person. If I had 12 hourglass women all standing in a row, all of their bodies would be completely different. Not just because of their height, not just because of their weight, but because of how curvy they are, right? Some hourglasses are kind of little curvy, and some are like va va voom, 50s pinup. If I had 12 pairs, they would. There, am I back? I hope I'm back. Yeah, if I had 12 pairs in a line, they would look completely different. Some of them have a really low waist and it's just kind of a little hip flare to make them a pair, and some have a really high waist. Some women carry extra weight pairs, especially some people carry it at the hip, some people carry it a little bit lower at the saddlebag. So even if you know what your body type is, know that that is not a panacea for just making everything easy. It still has little, you still have little, idiosyncrasies and little variations that make you unique and make your body type unique. So that is why when you open, hi Carol, that is why when you go to the supermarket and you see that magazine, this drives me so crazy, best, I don't know, swimsuit, let's take swimsuits, for every body type. And then it's like tall, big bust, I don't know, flat butt. And you're like, yeah, kind of all of them, yet none of them. That's not a body type. I will say in style seems to do the best job of that, especially in their fall style issue. They get the body types right and they give good advice for that. But like long legs is not a body type. Big bust is not a body type. You could have all different body types with a big bust. Broad shoulders is not a body type. You have to have all of those measurements, and there you go. So that hopefully gives you a good starting place. On my website, if you go all the way back to the beginning of the blog, I do have more information on the body types, and maybe I'll bump it up today so you guys can see it. And there you go. Later today, I am going to be talking about good uses for knowing your body type and bad uses for knowing your body type, because there are bad uses. So there you go. Go to the Everyday Style group if you have not. I'm going to link it up here. And join. You can find the post about the summer capsule guide, the pre-sale that's going on today. Today is the last day. We know it's May 24th, thanks to Jen. Today's the last day of the pre-sale, but you can get the swimsuit guide that tells you what to look for and what to avoid in every body type. And it also kind of tells you why, right? So even if you are a pair, reading the rectangle stuff will kind of help you understand how that all works together. So I hope that makes life a little easier for you, and I will see you later. Bye.